Trade Promotion Authority, the Farm Bill, and the H-2B Guest Worker Program top the list of issues that Louisiana young farmers and ranchers discussed with the state's congressional delegation. This was during the annual YFNR visit to Capitol Hill. TWILA's A.J. Sabine traveled with the young farmers and ranchers to bring us this report.
Louisiana's young farmers and ranchers armed themselves with information at the American Farm Bureau headquarters in Washington, D.C. AFBF's Executive Director of Public Policy, Dale Moore, tells 7 young farmers and ranchers that the federal budget will likely control much of their legislative agenda during this visit. St. Martin Parish sugar grower Cassie Berard says making in-person visits to Capitol Hill can make tremendous impacts back home.
The misconception was that they would never listen and they make their own decisions, and that's just not the case anymore. That wasn't the case before, and I had to become educated on exactly that they do want to listen to the issues and the things that we have to say, because we are educating them about back home the issues that we're having.
These young farmers and ranchers focused on issues during visits with Louisiana's 2 freshman representatives, Ralph Abraham representing District 5 and Garrett Graves representing District 6. Abraham, who sits on the House Ag Committee, explains that farmers in the 5th District tell him that the EPA is a thorn in their side.
We're having to fight tooth and nail just to not allow them to make a pond, a puddle, a ditch, something that they want to control. So, but you are right, the 5th district that I represent is the largest row crop district in the nation. So I've got to be very vigilant for my farmers. I've got to be very good for them.
Similarly, Congressman Garrett Graves intends to educate other members of Congress in an attempt to protect the interests of farmers and families who grow several unique crops in the Pelican State.
We've got to go out and reach out to other members of Congress, explain to them the importance of these industries, and help to open up markets and opportunities from those farmers, for those farmers to sell their crops, not just in the United States, but around the world.
Grain marketer Christy Ingram sells crops around the world. Ingram hopes to convince District 4 Congressman John Fleming to expand markets for Louisiana rice and other grains to overseas markets, such as Cuba.
There's grain that can be bought, and I have to have a market to sell it to. The markets currently are limited as far as truck, rail, and barge, and if we were able to have more opportunity to sell that crop, we could have better opportunities for the growers.
Creating new opportunities for growers prefaced the meeting with freshman Senator Bill Cassidy, who defeated longtime Louisiana Senator Mary Landrieu. Grain producer Josh Moore says he sought relief from an expansion of defined water bodies included in the Clean Water Act.
The EPA is wanting to come in and, I believe, trying to control all water sources. We have breaks, ditches, ponds, just sloughs that run through our properties. They're not necessarily navigable, but if the EPA has their way, who knows? They might classify them as that, and what are we to do when they control our water structures, our water sources, you know?
These young farmers and ranchers embrace the value of ag advocacy here in D.C. In Washington, I'm A.J. Sabine for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Louisiana young farmers and ranchers met with every member of Louisiana's congressional delegation or their staff over a 2.5-day visit to Capitol Hill. If you would like to learn more about the Young Farmer and Rancher program, log on to our website at twilatv.org.